Sergeant Stepdad here, coming from the trenches of this country trying to tear itself apart. Let's start with the doxing war, the doxing battle, I should say, and individuals being doxed that's involved in this Nicki Minaj thing. I do not support doxing at all, but there's a few things I think needs to be addressed. Let's start with the maximum outcome of doxing. An individual gets killed or injured. That person that gave out that person's address in that group could and should be held as an accessory to the crime. Now, if nothing happened, like none of that happened, none of those crimes happened, they should still be able to be charged with inciting violence towards that directed at that individual. And here's something I don't want to hear from individuals that dox people when if they are then themselves doxed. I don't want to hear any complaints. Turnabout's fair play. When you want to do something like that and they do it back to you, that's what you get. I don't understand why doxing happens. It's just because someone wants to feel special, probably, and they don't get very much recognition for that aspect. Now, let's go to this whole incident that happened before the verdict came out on that officer. And you should know this one. The whole body cam of Ohio officer, Ohio officer fatally shooting a a teenager. I'm not going to discolor because as you'll see in the video, if you haven't seen it yet, there's this individual. I don't really care. There's a lot of people of the same color in it, and I've turned the volume down. And technically, this is fair play, well, fair use. Um, but you heard that, yeah. Time shot. Hold on, I left my volume up myself. There. Okay, see, as you can, she's attacking. Now, I'm gonna go back just a little bit. Let me bring it back just a little bit. See, yes, as you can see, prior to this, there is no other officer within 10, 15, 20 feet, probably 10 to 20 feet, because you can see right back here, there's another squad car. Okay, this will be important to important to the question I have been asked prior by someone I am friends with on Facebook. Actually, I think they're actually related to me by a little bit. Now, continue. As you can see, they're struggling. He pulled his service pistol, and look at you can see this guy's leg. Watch this guy's leg real quick. He kicked the girl on the ground that was just being attacked. Okay, and after being the only one there, he was more focused on the individual with the knife. Okay, but this guy, as sitting on body cam, he should have charges pressed against him for assault, at the least. Now, she sees she's going after this individual in the pink. Okay, and still going. Looks like she may have almost got a strike off with the knife, but and this is already on YouTube, so they skipped over the actual shooting. I'm gonna back it up just a tiny bit. Let's see if I can't get right there. A little more, because the guy's sitting back now. See, you can see how her hand is off to the side. It's like she's going to thrust in. Okay, this officer did not have any other backup. And in this instance, I gotta ask, why didn't they use a taser? Okay? Why didn't the officer use a taser? There's a couple stipulations. He's the only one within that 10, 20 feet. So he's got to have a he's he's got to make sure he protects himself and the individuals that are in harm's way. So that's why he has the service pistol. And the whole why didn't he use a taser? Well, I'm gonna attach someone's individual video to this that did a pretty good understanding. I'm gonna actually play a section of it and see. First off, you'll see a successful taser. You're under arrest. See, he's tensed up and he's starting to fall. That's successful. Now this is gonna go into the little spiel about what I just addressed.
We all have that one friend or a few
This is
friends who
donut
say,
operator.
why didn't the cop tase that guy? This argument comes into play most of the time when someone's holding a knife and people ask, why didn't the cop tase that guy? Well, that's because tasers don't always work.
This is just a short video. So I'm gonna I'll leave the link to this video if you haven't seen it. I mean, he explains that the tasers don't always work, and he does a pretty good job of it. But this is something that has been a problem with people not understanding is when the use of force continuum is one level higher than the aggressor. So if they're coming at you with fists, you come at them with a taser. If they come at you with something that's could be lethal force is authorized. And the whole because it's basing it off race, it's just making you look ignorant, in my opinion. They shot her because she was getting ready. She already assaulted this person, and then she's going after this person. She had an object in her hand, and lo and behold, if you look at the other individuals she's going after, they're practically the same race. She may be a lighter skin than her, but skin color, but they're the same race. So why is it being based off of race? They're saying that this shooting was based off of race. And they go, and yeah, I heard that story, the thing, people saying that the individual with a knife called for help, but she went from a victim to the aggressor by just attacking these people. And I'm going to get a lot of grief from people that saying, oh, I'm racist. You can claim I'm racist, but I'm going to tell you this now. You're the one that's being racist because you assume something and you presume I'm just defending white people. No, if it's a clear cut, hey, this individual, this officer or this white person did something wrong, they are in the wrong. But this officer was trying to protect these individuals. And I hope this guy actually is arrested for assault. And I sound like I heard somewhere that yes, there's an investigation being done because if it was actually assault, he'll probably get charged with assault. But the best thing you can do, and if you're sitting in one of these situations where an officer's coming up and an individual's wielding a weapon, is to step back, get out of the line of fire, because it could end up with a stray round, or the individual that could be the attacker could come directly after you. and I'm trying to help steer everyone away from blaming each other for skin color, religion, and all that kind of stuff. Unless I only base my decision on how people are acting at that point in time. The officer tried to get her to stop, but did not. She did not stop. So if you're in a situation where you're feeling threatened by people, and an officer shows up, and but you need to drop your weapon and back away, or at least follow the directions of the officer. And not all officers, not all officers are racist, and not all black people are criminals. That is a true fact. You're gonna have racists in the police department. They may not show it directly, but there are people who have racist mindsets. I mean, I was more of I had a little bit of racism in my mind when I first got into the military, that Muslims were bad people, but getting to know them, some of them, that changed my mind. So I only base my decision off of their actions. So that's something that this country needs to work on, is base your decision on people's actions, not skin color, religion, places they're from, sexual orientation. You need to base it on their actions. And until then, we may never know. We never end up stop fighting each other. And I'm gonna say this right now: we have some bigger issues that we need to concentrate on instead of fighting each other, like the actions of a certain country that have individuals that have different religions and what they call re-education camps. But let's face it, they're probably pretty close to concentration camps. We need to fight that country, deal with that country, instead of fighting each other over what we believe is what some people believe is racism, or political difference, or any difference we have. We need to join as a country to take care of something else, this other country's issues. I mean, because if you're going to go off about racism in our country, yet you don't want to say anything about this other country's racist or religious discrimination, you're just being hypocritical and showing that you really don't care. You just want to scream and holler because you want you think we need to be divided. And all those who are pushing this division, you need to actually just shut up and let facts stand as they are. Because I have a feeling if this officer did not shoot, you'd still be yelling racism, that this officer is racist, because she allowed the other, and this officer allowed the other individual to be stabbed. So we need to work on following facts and stop this fighting. I will see you next time.